Yeah, she was immediately helpful with down payment assistance and different options.
Welcome to our second podcast. We're so excited to share the experience that Vernetra had with Team Andee, but also the down payment assistance program. Remember, this program will help you get into a property with very little down or possibly zero out of pocket. Check it out.
All right, Vernetra, appreciate you taking the time and being a customer of American Pacific Mortgage, and also working with Team Andee and Andee Montemoreno. Wanted to ask you just quickly, how did you initially get introduced to Andee?
Actually, I was looking on Zillow, and that's how I met her.
Okay, fantastic. And then you guys made that connection, and then just kind of let it run from there.
Yeah, she was immediately helpful with down payment assistance and different options, and basically let me see that I was more ready to purchase than I actually thought I was.
Okay. And so you mentioned down payment assisted. So, we've got a lot of different loan programs. And so it sounds like one of the programs that we were able to put you into was for like a first-time home buyer down payment assistance program. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. And that allowed for you to get into the home that you were looking for, with the sufficient funds and payments and all that stuff, right?
Right. So I was able to get, I think it is a second mortgage, I think is how it works. So it's attached to the end of the loan.
Yeah.
So, but it was definitely very helpful. So it wasn't completely down payment, like it wasn't free money. But she did tell me there were programs that were for that, but I didn't qualify for those. So yeah.
Okay, great. And one big thing that home buyers are always kind of concerned with is the mortgage interest rate. And so when it came to understanding the interest rate and kind of what you qualified and how that rate kind of impacts things, did you feel like you had a good understanding of kind of how you ended up at the interest rate that you ultimately have?
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, rates are across the board, so you can Google and see what the range or what's what. And what I did appreciate is that when we first started the process, my interest rate was at one figure, one rate, and then which was locked in, and then as we went on in the process, it raised, but I was stuck. I kept that same rate, so I did appreciate that part of it.
So we got you locked in before the market moved the wrong way then.
Exactly.
And when it comes to buying a house, there's a lot of moving pieces. There's a defined timeline. Oftentimes the stress levels can be very high for both yourself as the buyer. There's a seller involved, there's agents. Did Andee kind of help in navigating through that timeline, setting expectations, so you kind of knew what those steps were throughout that escrow process?
Andee was extremely helpful, and it was actually seamless. I went into escrow for a property previously, maybe about 10 years ago, and it didn't pan out. However, I felt as though every single moment it was sending something. And the process was seamless with Andee and her team. Literally everything was, they sent a list, I sent it right over, and then I felt like, oh, that's it, we're done. So it was seamless. And I want to make sure I'm answering your question. You asked specifically about the process with closing. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay, so getting to the part about closing, my deal needed to be 21 days. Okay. And she was on it. Everything was very expeditiously handled, and everything it was perfect. It was a perfect situation. Everyone was on top of it. The communication was great. There are email notifications to let you know where you are in the process. Also little demonstrations, I think cartoon demonstrations to explain the 4 dummies, explanation of how the process works. So it was the closing process was extremely smooth.
Fantastic, thank you. And one more question I've got for you. So for others that may be watching this, maybe contemplating, buying their first home, or maybe they've purchased other homes in the past, could you share some kind of information like of what they should be looking for in a mortgage loan officer, or some things that kind of worked well for you throughout the process when working with Andee?
Andee was in my corner. We had a challenging other party that we were dealing with.
Right.
And so she was very, very much an advocate. She was very positive. She was, okay, let's keep it going. Let's keep pushing. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And she was very helpful, very helpful. And you want someone like that because you want to first know that someone is genuinely has your good interest. And Andee did, and Andee definitely did, has your interest at heart. And it's going to move the needle, and it's going to meet the deadlines and delivers on what is promised. And yeah, I would definitely say that those are some of the things that are important when you're going through the closing process, because there is an angst, especially for first-time home buyers. There's an angst of, oh my gosh, so you start looking for things, and so I think she was definitely accessible and helpful.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate the kind words. I know that she appreciates it as well too. I also thank you for your time this evening. I know it's later, and sounds like you got some more stuff to do. So
exactly, I am working, and I am extremely busy right now, but I had to stop because I really, really did appreciate Andee and her work ethic. So wow, that's a testament. So
I greatly appreciate that, and thanks for taking the time to do this interview as well too. Thank you so much.
Of course, pleasure's mine, and most welcome.
All right, enjoy your evening as well.
All right.
All right, bye, Vernetra.
Bye.
That was amazing. Thank you again, Kevin. Thank you, Vernetra, for taking time out to do this. Thank you so much for all of the wonderful things you said. I'm just so happy we were able to get you into a home and with little out of pocket. It all worked out in the end, and I'm here for you whenever you need anything else. If anyone else wants to look at the home buying options and down payment assistance programs that are available to you, please give us a call. Check us out on our website, teamandee.com. And also, don't forget to check out the next podcast that's going to have an agent, and we'll talk about why it's important for a buyer to have agent representation. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day.